It's that time. Just heading down the QE to our friends in Niagara Falls and joining Mayor Jim Diodati for his weekly update on the city. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Tim. I've got a question for you.
What do you got?
Well, if Tim is Timothy, would Jim be Jimothy?
Isn't it Jimmer?
Could be. Just curious. Wasn't sure.
It does say Timothy. That's only when somebody's angry at me, like my mother, or it's Timothy Bolin. No, it's just Timmy. Good to see you, pal. Have you seen an uptick in visitors in the U.S. since the border opened? How are you feeling?
Not really.
No.
Just because we've got the PCR test still as a requirement to come into the country, so most Americans just opt not to. It's easier not to. So not yet. Once we deal with that, I think you're going to start to see the uptick.
Yeah, and there's no update on that, is there?
Not yet, but I'm expecting an update this week because the 21st of the month is the date that the federal government does the update on regulations for border requirements.
Okay, so that's a good little tip there, so we'll keep an eye on that. But there's lots of things happening in the city. 3 new inductees, Niagara Falls Arts and Cultural Wall of Fame.
Yeah, and just before I jump into that, if it's okay, I just had to tell you the Santa Claus parade this weekend.
Want to go there first? Okay.
Tim, it was, if you don't mind, it was the biggest and the best that we've ever had. The downtown was packed. We had upwards of 20,000 people. We called it Bedford Falls and Niagara Falls. We had the big crowds, the beautiful lights strung up and down the street. That's my niece and my nephew that went with me in the parade. We had the opening of the Christmas market, which will be every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right until the 18th of December. We had the lighting of the Christmas tree in front of City Hall and the kickoff to the Winter Festival of Lights. And that'll go right until February the 21st, 101 days of twinkling Christmas lights.
Well, after not having the parade last year, it must have been so great to have Santa Claus back in town.
And that's what everybody was saying, Tim. We were one of the only communities to have a full-out Christmas parade again. A lot of people had their masks. The crowds were great. They were so grateful. And, sometimes when you lose something, you appreciate it that much more. And we haven't had a real Santa Claus parade in a few years. So, man, the people were excited. The kids were over the moon.
There's a lot of talent that comes out of the Falls, hence why you have a Wall of Fame, right?
Yes. Thank you for that. So we just had our recent Arts and Culture Wall of Fame. We had 3 new inductees. We had Maria Vitre. We had Rivoli Isolero, who's well-known. He was nominated by one of his former students, Stefan Macchio. And Stefan has written songs for great stars like Celine Dion, Miley Cyrus, Avril Lavigne, and a number of others. And lastly, we had Tim Hicks. Tim Hicks, as it turned out when I got talking with him, turns out we went to the same high school and we took guitar lessons from the Ontario Conservatory of Music from Tim Miller, the same teacher.
Really?
But my musical career didn't end up quite the way his did, so I'm not really sure what
Can you still play a tune?
Well, I can't. Chief, I'm in the middle of an interview with Tim.
Yeah, no,
CH.
This is important.
Important? What is this?
Arrest warrant for your arrest for violating the
Arrest?
for elected officials.
What? There's got to be some misunderstanding.
Wearing running shoes with a suit.
Running shoes with a Tim? Look, like this?
Listen.
This is the look, Jim. Tell him.
I think that looks pretty darn good. Look at those socks, Chief.
Well, wait a second. This says this arrest warrant was signed by Judge Judy.
Judge Judy. Oh, you're in trouble. You're in trouble.
Call Bob.
Okay, it was great. It was great knowing you, Mayor. Best of luck in the clink. You're not going to fare very well. And scene. Well rehearsed, that thing. Okay, here we go. Not to worry, folks. We have word that the mayor is okay. And he agreed to be arrested, all for the good cause in the name of the United Way of Niagara, on now until the end of December. So this year's campaign will help 120,000 people in Niagara. So that was Niagara Regional Police Chief Brian McCulloch, who is chairing the campaign this year. Everyone can help support the United Way, and you can donate to get the mayor out of jail. I'm donating to keep him in jail. Let's be.
I want to see his next segment there next week.
Yeah, well, will he make it to the next segment?
He's there with a tin mug. Right like this along the
You're
bars.
right.